Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is all about no spend September, so don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So hello, welcome back. I know I've not shown my face on here in ages. The summer has been so busy and I've just not had time. And no spend September starts today. Hello September, as if we are in the 9th month of 2024 already. That being said, I've massively underestimated how much money I would spend in August, and so no spend September is an absolute must for me to get back on track. So I thought I would talk through what my aims are for the month, how I'm going to do in no spend September, and hopefully you might feel that you can join me on this. So like I said, I've spent so much money in August. There's some holidays, 2 children, it was always going to be expensive, but I just didn't didn't admit that I would spend this much money. So September always seems like a good point in time to kind of restart. It's the new school year starting, it's kind of the winter months are coming, and it just feels like a good kind of reset point in the year. So obviously the 1st of January is always a reset point, but then September kind of gives you that second chance as well. So for me, no spend September is really about going back to basics. Now if you've watched my budget with me September, and I'll leave a link below in the description box if you want to check it out after this, I said that I need to go really back to basics and really kind of go rein in every kind of area of spending, so not just the obvious ones but like everything, to kind of balance out the expense of August. So the first thing for me to do, and I intend to do that today, is to go through all of my cupboards and kind of write down what I have already, what meals I have, especially in the freezer, and kind of look where I can make savings in the food budget. That is one of the biggest ones with 2 children, is the amount of money I spend on food, and in August especially with kind of snacks and things, that has crept up a lot, so I'm hoping to pull that back. I do have lots of kind of homemade ready meals in the freezer and things that we can use up, so I'm hoping that that will be one. So the first job for me today is to look through the cupboards and the fridge and the freezer and make a list of just what meals I can make or have of the things already made at home, to see how many meals I can make out of that and how long that will last me. And I'm hoping that that will be a fairly significant number. I think it will be, judging by the fact that I can't get anything else in my freezer at the moment. Shows that I need to do something about it in terms of using what I already have. So that is my first point of call. The second one, as always, is to fill in my budget planner every single day and no spend day tracker, just to see how the month is going. I think that being really aware of your finances and how you spend money and where your money goes is really important if you want to change how your spending kind of goes, if you have financial goals that you want to do, or you just want to get back in kind of in touch with how much you understand your own finances, because the more you understand about it, the better that is, and the better they'll be, because they'll reflect the fact that you are putting in the effort to know, right, well, this much goes on food every month, what percentage of my bills every month, because then you can make changes if you want to. So the second thing for me is to be really diligent in filling that out every single day. I do anyway most of the time, but sometimes it does fall by the wayside. But for this next 30 days in September, every single day, and I might even dabble with shorts on here and kind of share my updates every day. Would anyone like me to do that? I've not done shorts on YouTube before, I don't really know. I presume they're like posting on TikTok or Instagram Reels, but anyway, filling in that every single day. Eating out is a big one, so we've been eating out a lot in August. We've kind of, even things like ice creams or coffees or drinks or whatever when being out. September, that in my budget, if you've watched that video, is 0, and has to be. The time when we would do that anyway is fairly minimal. In kind of an everyday month, it's only in the school holidays where that changes, but eating out coffees, that's me obviously, not the 2 boys, has to be 0. That just needs to rein that back in, and that's not a bad thing in terms of kind of health either, and kind of looking at things like that as well. But that, I spent more eating out than I realised I would do in August, and in hindsight, you know, when you look back and you think, why on earth didn't I realise that we'd spend so much more eating out? But then you learn from that, and so next summer holidays I'll be mindful of that and the budget will reflect that. But in September, for no spend September, it is going to be 0. And that's not a bad thing. It might feel like it when I don't have a coffee, but again, I don't need it. I've got a coffee at home, I've got a coffee at work, there's no There's no need for that. And again, talking about needs, so no spend months, no spend September, it really does give you the chance to reflect on what your financial priorities are. And sometimes when life is really busy and kind of things just kind of get in the way, I guess, those priorities can kind of be missed or be hidden or forgotten. And so again, for no spend month, it really does give you the chance to kind of look at your priorities. What do you want? You know, you work, everybody works really hard for their income. Where do you want that to go so that it makes the best life for you? And so one of my big things, and it has been all the way along, and this hasn't changed, is one of my priorities is making memories with my family. And that you know, that is always the case. So Disneyland was really expensive and we went for 3 days, but the memories will last forever, kind of thing. And so the priorities, and yeah, they can shift over time. And so for me, I used to talk a lot about early retirement, and at the moment that isn't a focus, that isn't a priority anymore, because I need to get the basics back in place before I can even think about things like that. And that might not be a priority anymore ever, but that's okay. But a no spend month really does give you the time to reflect on what your own financial priorities are. So that is another one to do during no spend September. And then the final thing to do is to kind of give yourself grace if things go wrong or things don't work out the way you'd planned. So it's all very well saying, oh, I'm going to have a no spend month. Of course I spend on the necessities. You know, if my watch that when my boys go back to school next week, I'll have forgotten to get them something for that, and of course I will buy that. That's part of being a parent. But it's okay to get things wrong, but it's the journey that you go on. And it sounds a bit profound, oh, you're doing a no spend month, it can't be that much of a deal. But if you're not used to that, if you're not used to tracking your spending, if you're not used to tracking your no spend days, if you're not used to looking at where your money actually goes and what your priorities really are when you're honest with yourself, then actually it can be a really good, I don't want to say life-changing process, but it can open your eyes to what you actually feel and how you feel about money, and how money makes money always makes the world go round, but in terms of your own financial setup, what it means. So if you're trying no spend September for the first time, it might be really weird. It might be eye-opening in a good way, and it gives you those tools to be able to then change if you want to. But you can't change things without the knowledge to begin with, because that's not fair. That's putting expectations on yourself that you can't possibly fulfill because you're not aware of them, so how can you possibly change them? So it's okay to make mistakes while you do this. It's okay to go, oh, probably shouldn't have spent that on that. But you're aware of that now, and next time you'll know that actually maybe I need to think about this more carefully, or I might need to plan around that more carefully. And remember, everybody's personal finance journey is personal to you. What I do during my no spend September will be very different to those of you in different household circumstances. You might live in different places. Everybody's journey is personal. It's why it's called personal finance. So yeah, so that is my no spend September kind of, I guess, roundup, what I'm hoping to do, what I'm hoping to achieve. And I'm hoping that you will join me on the month ahead and let me know what your plans are. Are you going to join me? What are your aims for the month? Mine is just to have a set number of no spend days. I think I've put it at 22. Put some more into my emergency fund, because I really need to get that. I haven't even made it to £100 in emergency fund yet. And of course I am responsible for everything, so that would be good. And then just kind of, I guess, take the time to just be more mindful again of where my money's going, because it's just disappeared in August. So let me know down below what your aims are. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.